Hello guys, how you doing? Henry here. I'm out here in Durban, South Africa, man, on the Indian Ocean. And in this video, man, I'm gonna be interviewing, three young people who've managed to start their own business, out of the lockdown. So some of them were retrenched, some of them things were not going well at their jobs, and some of them just wanted, to get on it and do their business, and they're the perfect conditions in this lockdown. And the reason why I'm doing this really is to show you guys that, it is possible, and to show you guys, guys who are just like you, who are actually, using their gifts, their talents, and whatever skills they have to actually start, doing businesses, getting clients, invoicing them, and taking care of their bills. So guys, man, I mean, if you've been, supporting my YouTube channel, if you have subscribed, thank you for your support, man. We're now on 143 subscribers, man. Let's keep going, man, and let's keep growing. Thank you for that, man. And yeah, so let's get into the video, man. It's gonna be a good one. So you guys know that on this channel, my passion is to inspire you to reach your personal and career goals. And one of the ways that I like to do this is to basically interview, people who have managed to, to start businesses, to start, looking out for themselves, and who have basically founded businesses. That's what I like to do, so that, we can basically, hear from them and inspire each other. So which is awesome. So if this is your first time on this channel, a very warm welcome to you. Kindly hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so that we can actually grow together. And if you're back again, thank you for your support. Man, you guys, it's always exciting, to hear you, to see you liking, see you commenting, on all the videos. So as I said, guys, one thing that I'm looking at, especially in the season, is to see whether we can actually inspire each other to become, self-employed to the extent that we can, or not to be paralyzed if, you can't find maybe a formal job out there, but maybe you can take a chance to actually, work for yourself, and how that looks like. So today what I've done is that I've actually, I'm actually going to be sitting down with three individuals who have actually, made that transition. Some of them made that transition from being full-time employed for someone else and starting their own businesses by using their talents, and also getting, using some of their gifts to do some, part-time work, so that they can actually start, meeting their bills and obligations and growing from there. So first of all, I have got Tino, right? Yeah. Tino is, he's a businessman, yeah. He's a businessman, full-time in business, and he actually is using his gifts to do, I don't know how many businesses you have, man. You have like 3 businesses.
Yeah, right? Like 3, yeah.
Awesome, man. So you're a graphic designer?
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer.
By profession, yeah?
By profession, yeah. I've been doing graphic design for over 10 years. I started in Zim, and then I moved to SA. I've been doing that. And then obviously with time, you begin to grow. So now I'm doing websites, and I'm also learning animation. So it's a journey of learning and always growing, which I'm enjoying. And it's been going on pretty well. And I'm enjoying it.
Awesome, man. Because I know, like, from your because I know one conversation we had, like, during lockdown, right? And you're like, you know what? You're working actually for a company. For how many years were you working for the company?
So I joined the company in 2014 as a junior graphic designer. But over a period of time, obviously, I grew, and then I became the senior graphic designer. But I realized no matter how much input you give, there's always a ceiling that you have, and you cannot break through over that ceiling. There's always that ceiling. So I realized it's always good, like when you're working, you always like create other sources of income. That's what I've always believed in. Yeah. So I've not always believed in just being a graphic designer, but also like creating other sources of income outside of your calling of a vocation.
Wow.
In that area of what you're called to.
Oh, wow, man.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on, and expanding and growing, and I'm enjoying the journey.
Man. That's awesome, man. I also know that you've got a transport company. You're also in logistics.
Yeah.
You started this company during the lockdown, and you're also into gym equipment as well.
Exactly.
Man, tell us, man, how did that happen? Because I know, like, actually during lockdown, when, you know, other people were, you know, try to figure themselves out with regards to maybe their jobs, you were saying, you know what, I think this is actually, you know, the time to sort of, you know, step away from working full-time for someone and start working for myself, you know. Just tell us, like, how did you manage, you know, to identify these opportunities in the gym space and also in transport and logistics?
Okay, what happened actually, it was one day I was looking for weights, and I was just starting to be like a gym fanatic. And then during the lockdown, because all the gyms were closed, so people couldn't go like to the gym. So I started to search for like gym equipment so that I can buy. And funny enough, you couldn't just find anywhere game or these macro stores. You couldn't get the gym equipment. So one day while I was looking for like the gym equipment, I searched on Facebook Marketplace, and I bumped into this guy in Joburg South who was supplying gym equipment at that time.
Yes.
So I called him, and then I went there. And then what surprised me when I got there is the traffic of people that were coming to buy like gym equipment and stuff from him.
Yeah.
So then it dawned on me that, you know what, I can actually like buy and put my own markup and sell of these. It was actually dumbbells.
Oh, okay.
So at first I bought like, it was 5 dumbbells. And then they began to sell like hotcakes. All of them, they were bought like in one day. Then I went back again. And then I bought, I think it was 10. So the number began to increase. I would go back again and I'll buy. And then I'll sell and I'll deliver around Johannesburg, and obviously put like delivery fees when I'm delivering. So with that, you know what, the business, that gym equipment business started to grow. And then I've always had this idea of a logistic company. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this money that I'm getting? Am I just going to squander it and use it? So I thought, to create a sustainable business, what do I need to do? Because obviously, you know what, all this lockdown, the coronavirus is going to end.
Yeah.
And then what then? What's going to come after that?
Wow, yeah.
So I decided, okay, I've always had an idea of a logistic company. And then I began to search for a truck. And surprisingly, I don't know what happens. You know, when I buy stuff, you know, especially cars and what, there's always like special favor.
Yeah.
People always sell their cars or at an like undervalued price to me.
Wow, that's amazing.
So we started looking for this truck, and then we couldn't find. You know, I would get disappointment after disappointments. People would promise and say, you know what, come view the car. If you like it, you get, and then we'll make an appointment, and then someone last minute will just drop us. And then I was getting frustrated, and then one day I just bumped into this another advert, and then I called the guys, and then they actually slashed their price because of the coronavirus.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I went there, and then I saw the truck. I was happy, and I wanted to delay and maybe get it, made me think through it, and maybe get it the other day. But you know what? I just told myself, let me just get this truck. And ever since I started that business, I can guarantee you that, you know what, I've seen increase upon increase, and I'm seeing monthly that, you know what, this thing is going somewhere, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm loving it.
Wow, man, that's amazing. So how do you manage to balance, you know, between, you know, your graphic design work you're still doing, you know, your logistics company, and also, you know, the gym business, the weight business?
Look, I'm saying I'm not married yet. So I have all the time to do whatever I want. That's what I'm trying to.
Awesome, man.
That's what I'm trying to learn. You know, to time management. You know, like sometimes, you know, you can get called. You know, you have to deliver something. Of which obviously I'm not going to be doing this. You know, like driving the truck around. For the one thing that I have to do is I have to work myself out of that position, job. Yeah, out of that position. So at the moment, I'm the one that's on the steering, but it will come a time when I'll hand over to someone, and as the business will grow. So yeah, but at the moment, it's a bit of a struggle, but I'm trying to manage. But mostly I do my designs whenever I find a gap, whenever I find time. During the day, I always move around with my laptop, design. I've got my internet connection. That's all I need. And then I'll design, and then I can send my design job from wherever I am. Like I can be in KZN, I can be in Cape Town, and I can always take my laptop and design and send to my clients.
Wow, man.
That's the beauty about it.
That's amazing. Guys, you heard that, man. If you're still single, man, it's the time to try and, you know, establish a business or do something, because the time is still yours. But anyway, if you're also married, you know, it just means more pressure. You can still make it happen, though, right? So, I mean, what sort of advice, you know, what piece of advice are you giving to someone who's watching, you know, about, you know, identifying, like, just thinking that maybe there are no opportunities in this crisis, the economy is slowing down or whatever, what sort of advice could you give to them?
The greatest thing that I think people face is fear. People are afraid to step out into, especially out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it's one of the feelings that's so scary. Even for myself, it took me long to actually quit my job and be full-time a graphic designer and also doing this gym equipment and logistics. But you just need to step out in faith. But obviously, you need to take calculated risk.
Yeah.
Plan in advance. Like we live in South Africa, if you don't have a house, you must make sure that all your rentals are covered. Basically, you must stay ahead of time.
Yeah.
Stay ahead of your bills, So always make sure that you are disciplined in your finances. You mustn't just spend your money anyhow.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined, save money. That's one of the most important advice I can give. Save your money and create other sources of income so that you can experience financial freedom.
Yeah, man, that's amazing, and I like what you say about just taking calculated risks. I think you in one of the things, when we had a discussion about you saying that I want to stop working, and I think one of the things we went through was are your bills covered?
Yeah.
In terms of are you going to be able? Are you already replacing? Because I think for you, at least, you are fortunate that when you're still working full time, you could still test the concept of what you wanted to do. You're doing graphic design after hours. You're also doing like selling gym equipment, and and doing the truck business as well. So you could test that, which I think is actually makes sense when you say that someone should take calculated risks.
Yeah.
If you've got that opportunity to do so.
And as well, I would like, one of my favorite quotes is always be enjoy the journey. A lot of people are always obsessed with the destination. You want to become something, of which is good, But you know what? Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, enjoy where you are right now. If you're still working, enjoy that part where you're still working. If you're self-employed and you're called to be an entrepreneur, enjoy that, enjoy that moment, that phase that you are in, and don't get too obsessed in reaching your destination that you forget to enjoy the journey. It is so important.
Awesome, man. Hey, Tino, thank you very much, man, for
taking
pleasure. Your
pleasure.
time, man, to come through just to discuss, with us, entrepreneurship. I mean, this is where it begins at the end of the day. As you said, we always start somewhere, and, you're doing a great job. So, man, thank you for your time, man.
It's a great pleasure, and thank you for the invite.
Yeah. All right, man. So, guys, so as I said in this video, guys, I'm going to be interviewing, 3 young people who've basically, jumped into self-employment and entrepreneurship. And we got Neo here. She's an architecture, right? An architect.
Yeah.
It's an architect, right?
More of like, let me say, my professional is architectural draft.
Okay.
Yes.
Architectural
Yes.
drafts.
Draftsperson,
Okay, so you're a
yes.
drafts person.
Yes, architectural draft, because there's mechanical drafts person and yeah. So I'm an architectural drafts person.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, man. So I think, what one thing for sure is that, what I wanted us to discuss is that you basically, you run your own company, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of your company?
Zoo Architecture.
Zoo Architecture, man.
Yes,
That's a fancy name. But anyway, we're not going to go into what the name means and all these things, but but it's an awesome name. And I think, for you, you've been having your company. How long have you had a dream to run your own, is it a architectural company?
Yeah, it's an architectural company. How long have I been?
How long have you had that dream, man?
I've always had a dream to start my own company, architectural company. It's just a matter of me now deciding when exactly am I gonna go into it.
Yeah.
So now I've been in the industry for like 6-7 years now, and then that's when I decided, I guess after writing my articles and now getting my professional, maybe a year after that, I decided now that I guess now I should get into it.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow, man.
yes.
So how long have you sort of been invoicing people and getting paid for it? Because I mean, that's what business is about, guys.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
at the end of the day, it's getting a client and being able to invoice them and getting
Yes.
paid for it.
Yeah.
How long have you sort of like looking at doing that?
Okay, so it was in March that I decided to now go on my own.
So like when the lockdown started,
When the
you
lockdown,
decided to to go on your own.
yeah, little did I know that, end of that month we're gonna be going on lockdown.
Wow, man, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
how did you manage, man? Okay, so first of all, so we're going to talk about how you obviously managed. I mean, what inspired you to sort of, so you resigned from where you were working.
Yes, so I
Then you
resigned.
started your
And then I
own.
started my own thing. So because of being in the industry, you get to now work for someone and now drive their vision of
Yeah.
it. And when you're in architecture, you are a creative. And
Yeah.
you have your own now ideas and your own, how do I say it, designs that you would want to, design.
Yeah.
But because of now, I guess the frustration of this is how I want this building to be built
Yeah.
or to be designed, right? I think, I guess it was now the frustration of, like, I just want to now get out and, start doing my own designs. And because you have a lot of ideas as an architect, whether you are a technician or you are a junior architect, but because of your under someone, you are now unable to do that, and now that strains you or frustrates you more, because of, like, you really just want to get it out and get your ideas out there.
Wow. So it's like you wanted to express yourself.
I wanted to express myself. Yes.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow, man, that's amazing. But it was quite a bold step, though.
Yes,
To just say you're going to do that. I mean, especially in an industry. I don't know much about architecture and things like that. But how do you get your clients then? How do you get clients? I mean, now since you're now on your own.
I guess with this technology, man, there's social media platforms, Instagram, your Facebook, a WhatsApp status that, I constantly put my work out, and also references from people, from friends, whether it's family or, individual people that I just, would say, whether they know me or not, they would refer me to now clients.
Wow,
And that's how I'll get my clients.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, man. I mean, I think that's what it's about, And I think so in terms of, so obviously, you've managed to. So this is the only thing you're doing now. So you're managing to obviously take care of your bills and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is important.
Yes, yes.
That you've managed to do that. You've managed to do that. So what are your aspirations like going to the future and stuff?
Well, I do have a vision of being one of the leading architect in, whether in the world,
Yeah.
basically.
Uh-huh.
Just go out there, I think also the name, when I came up with it, like, I wanted it to sound international.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I just want to be one of the leading architecture, to be innovative, and basically just, take over and, be just to lead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what advice would you give someone who's basically, they've got this dream or this vision, or they feel that they've been called to do something, but don't know how the market will respond or what's going to happen? Is there still space for new people?
In the architecture?
Yeah, architecture, or even just general, like in life.
I would like to believe there's a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of ways into making business. I believe that the Bible says that the harvest is plenty.
Yeah.
The
harvest is plenty, but the laborers
there
are
are
few.
few. Yeah. So I would like to believe there's a lot of opportunities out there. It's just a matter of taking that bold step into getting there. But I would like, I feel like at the end of the day, God has given us different gifts.
Yeah.
And I don't think God will just give you a gift for you to just, I don't know, just, but I believe that when He gives you, He now wants you to, I don't know, start being active in it, And I think that He would now backs you up with, making sure that with that, all your needs are met.
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, so Sonia, thank you very much. We're looking forward. I mean, I'll put your Instagram Zoo's Instagram,
Yeah,
you know,
and the website
in the
also.
website, in the link below, you know, and we, you know, and I believe you guys are going to do well, and I'm looking forward to see, you know, what the future definitely holds.
All right.
Yeah, man. So, guys, last but not least, we've got Martin here, right? Martin is an interesting fella, right? I mean, Martin, he's, I think, a marketer by profession, right? And this lockdown period, he's currently, you know, doing various gigs and, you know, using his talents in photography to, you know, to make a living. So, yeah, Martin, thanks, man, for making your time to come through.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome, man. So tell us, man, a bit about what you do, man.
Okay, cool. So my background is market research, but more specifically anthropology, which I studied. So I do consumer insights as part of market research. And also I do photography. So photography has always been something that I was passionate about. And last year I decided to buy a camera on my birthday and started playing around with it up until this year when I lost my job and I wanted to do something, and lockdown came. Funny enough, I had an opportunity to move to Cape Town for a job, but then lockdown happened and the dates were moved up until the whole thing fell over. So then during lockdown, I started taking pictures and just learning more about photography, and I started monetizing that and started getting gigs for my photography. And on the other hand, I also started getting gigs for freelancing in market research. So that's basically the two things that I'm focused on right now.
Wow, man. So, I mean, did you ever think that it would be possible that, you know, you'd be doing some gigs, right, in these two areas? You know, did you ever think that would be possible? And like, what sort of mind shift did you have to sort of say that, you know, this is something I can work on?
So no, I never really thought. Well, maybe for my career, yes. I always thought that at some point in my life, after I have like plenty of experience, I'd want to venture into being a consultant, right? A consumer insight consultant. But I never really thought much about it when it came to photography. I just bought my camera so that I could just take pictures and enjoy and have memories that I constantly take, you know, of people or of just me. So when lockdown came, I had no choice but then to start exploring more on how I can monetize on the things that I have. And the first thing that happened was the photography. And what actually happened was I had a close family of mine. My relatives would call me up and say, we want you to take pictures of the house. Then the next thing they're giving me some money, or we want you to take pictures of the baby, and the next thing they're giving me money. So then I realized that if my immediate family is willing to offer me money for this,
Okay.
how about I start actually telling other people that I can do this, you know? So that's how the photography thing got into money, or
You monetize
yeah,
it,
how
so-
I ended up monetizing it, right? And for the my career, the market research thing is that I just started looking for companies and sending out my portfolio to companies that needed the services of someone who does like market research. And I now freelance for a company that's based in Europe, but they have like projects here in South Africa. So when they want someone who's based in Joburg, the person that they contact is me. I finished up a project yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing at the moment. So
Yeah.
for me, it wasn't like I wanted to seek out the entrepreneurial route. It happened because of circumstances, you know. But I had to adapt, because at the end of the day, if you don't adapt, you're going to cry for the rest of your life thinking that there's no opportunities, you know. But opportunities are available. You just need to tap into the things that you know and probably shift your mind a bit into knowing that you're stepping into unknown territory, you know.
Wow, man. I mean, that's amazing. Do you know what? And why your story is so important is because, you know, there are a lot of people. I mean, there are times when, you know what, back in the day, when, you know, you'd be stuck without a job. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, putting out some applications, putting out things like this, and you're not getting the responses that you need. But what I like about your story is that, you know, God sort of showed you a way to say that, you know what, you can actually start using what you actually have and start going directly, to the end consumer or to the client who actually needs what you have without necessarily being in a formal employment. So I think that's sort of freedom, right? That you don't,
Yeah.
that, there are other ways to actually do things. There are other ways to make a living, which are not just as traditional as we always used to know that, what, I need to apply for a job. I need to, be on Career 24. I need to be sending out CVs, taking in the regrets, doing whatever it is. But now you can actually position yourself as a consultant. You can work for a company in Europe and now start, doing, I think, that's just amazing, because of, what the internet has provided now for people.
Yeah, that's very true, And I think for the longest part, for me personally, right, I never really thought I would be in this gig economy where I am looking for gigs and talking to people or trying to negotiate certain things. But now that I'm in it, it's a day-to-day challenge. And I was talking to the other guys that for me personally, it's not something that I really wanted, and it's something that I'm really trying to get my mind to because
and adjust to,
yeah, exactly. I have to adjust to, And I was telling them that it's so hard because when the month starts, right, you need to start thinking about what do I have to do so that the next month comes and I have to meet my bills,
Yeah.
So it's a constant mind shift, where you know that it's only guaranteed when you put in the work.
Yeah.
Your income is only guaranteed when you put in the work. If you don't, then nothing comes your way, So it's a constant battle of trying to get your mind in the right space so that you position yourself to talking to the right people or putting your word out there so that you have these photography gigs or whatever, And for me right now, what I really, really enjoy is that I have gigs in advance.
Wow.
I have gigs scheduled for this weekend and the next weekend, and people trust me enough to pay before the gig even starts.
Yeah.
Which I find weird because I don't know if I'll be in a position to pay someone before they actually deliver on the work. So it's just interesting times for me. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's amazing, guys. And I think, the thing is, it's interesting times, for everybody. I think that's the thing. But I think what is important is to adapt. So what, word of advice, would you be able to, just share with someone who might find themselves, retrenched and, their world is like on top of its head, in terms of, what they used to think that, I'm going to be putting out my CVs and things like that. What sort of advice would you give them?
So I think I'd say you need to look at your surroundings, What do you have? What are your talents? What are your gifts? What are your interests, And how can you use that to translate or to monetize that, basically? How can you monetize whatever you have around you, to sustain you? Because for the longest time for me, during the whole lockdown process, I was stressed. I was anxious. I didn't know really what to do with myself, Up until I got to a point where I realized that the situation is not changing until I change,
Wow.
So I had to change my attitude towards things, to start thinking outside of my box and to see how I can change or start moving forward, and getting to what I want to achieve. Because the worst part about lockdown, right, is that other people made tons of money because of what was happening, and other people were not, they were stressed, they lost jobs and all of that, But at the end of the day, lockdown started in March and now we are in October. Time has moved and time will continue moving. That's the sad part, that time moves. So you can't be stagnant with your situation, feeling sorry for yourself. So whichever way, just keep on moving. Find ways to keep on moving and make progress and be around the right people. That's the other thing, Be around the right people who are willing to just help you, and help you with the vision that you have. I will say this, for me growing up, I really wanted to read books and write and all of that. But growing up, I never really had people around me who enjoyed those things, So it took me a while to get out of that place and to get into a zone where I was around people who liked the same interests as me. So one of the things I would say is that if you are around the right people who are also trying to achieve something, it's much more easier to just tap into that, tap into their creative thinking process and whatnot, and utilize that for your own self.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks a lot, man. So you guys, you heard it for yourself, man. Sometimes, the situation might take long to change, but it doesn't mean that you can't change. You can't change, your way of thinking. You can't change your environment. So, I mean, the future is bright. It is an interesting future, different future, but it is certainly bright. And, I just wanted to take time, man, just to show you guys that we're not just talking about entrepreneurship and self-employment as just an idea, a nice idea, or the gig economy, but this is things that are happening right now, and we can all tap into that so that, we can have a bright future. So guys, man, I love you, appreciate you, and thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Cheers, man.